Hey, I'm Noggs, and this is Noggs House. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important discoveries in all of human history, fire. We're going to explore how learning to control fire didn't just help us stay warm, but actually changed our bodies, our brains, and the way we live together. For thousands and thousands of years, our early ancestors had to eat everything raw. Raw means uncooked, straight from nature without any heat applied to it. Imagine trying to chew through tough, raw meat or eating hard roots and seeds without cooking them first. It was exhausting. Their jaws got tired, their stomachs had to work super hard, and they couldn't get as much nutrition, the good stuff in food that keeps you healthy, from what they ate. Life was tough, and finding enough energy to survive was a constant struggle. When humans finally learned to cook food with fire, everything changed. Cooking is like giving your stomach a head start. Scientists call this pre-digestion. Pre-digestion means breaking down food before it even gets to your stomach, making it way easier for your body to use. Here's what heat does to food. It breaks down tough fibers, the stringy, chewy parts of plants and meat, and complex molecules, tiny parts of food that are hard for our body to break down. When you cook meat, something called protein denaturation happens. The proteins, building blocks in food, change shape and become easier to digest. There's also something called collagen gelatinization. Collagen is the tough, chewy stuff in meat, and when you cook it, it turns soft and jelly-like. The result? Your body can extract way more calories, energy from food, and nutrients with way less effort. It's like the difference between trying to eat a raw potato versus a baked one. The cooked version is softer, tastier, and gives you more energy. Fire did something else amazing. It made food safer to eat. When you cook food, the heat sterilizes it. Sterilization means killing germs, parasites, tiny creatures that can live inside you and make you sick, and harmful bacteria, microscopic organisms that can cause disease. Before cooking, our ancestors got sick a lot from eating food that had dangerous stuff in it. Cooking also made poisonous or toxic foods safe to eat. Some plants have natural poisons that protect them from being eaten, but heat can break down these toxins or poisons. This meant humans could eat a much wider variety of foods. They could exploit, use and take advantage of different ecological niches. That just means they could survive in more places and eat more types of food. Some scientists even think cooking helped babies. When food is soft and cooked, babies can eat regular food earlier instead of only drinking milk. This is called earlier weaning. Weaning is when babies stop drinking only milk and start eating other foods. If babies could eat regular food faster, their mothers could have more babies, helping the human population grow faster. Here's a crazy fact. Your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, but it uses 20 to 25% of all your energy. That's like a tiny engine that gobbles up a quarter of all your fuel. The human brain is huge compared to other animals our size, and keeping it running takes a lot of calories. If our ancestors were trying to feed those big brains on only raw food, it would be almost impossible. Raw food is harder to digest and you get fewer calories from it. It's energy prohibitive, meaning it costs too much energy to be worth it. But cooked food changed the game. It provided an increased energy yield, you get more energy out of it, and reduced digestive costs. Your stomach doesn't have to work as hard. This freed up energy that could go to the brain instead of the gut. Over time, this extra energy allowed human brains to get bigger and bigger. Our ancestors' bodies also changed in other ways because they didn't need such powerful chewing muscles and big digestive systems anymore. So when did humans first start using fire? Scientists look for evidence in ancient sites, and they found some pretty cool stuff. The earliest traces of fire usage go back to about 790,000 years ago in areas that are now Israel and the Golan Heights. But just because fire was there doesn't mean humans started it. It could have been a natural wildfire. The oldest definitive evidence that we're really sure about, for humans deliberately starting fires is from about 400,000 years ago in England. How do scientists know? They found burnt soil, cracked flint. Flint is a rock that breaks in a certain way when heated, and iron pyrite, a mineral you can strike to make sparks, kind of like an ancient lighter. What's really interesting is that these materials weren't found naturally in these spots. They were non-local, meaning someone brought them from somewhere else. This suggests that ancient humans understood how fire worked and collected the materials they needed to start it on purpose. Once humans controlled fire, they found all sorts of uses for it beyond cooking. Toolmaking. Heating stone to very high temperatures made it easier to shape and created sharper edges on tools. Archaeologists have found evidence of this in South Africa that dates to around 164,000 years ago. Warmth. Fire lets humans survive in colder climates, weather conditions in different places. This meant they could expand their territories and live in places that would have been too cold before. Light. Fire extended active hours. Instead of having to sleep when it got dark, people could stay up, work, and socialize around the fire in the evening. Protection. Fire served as a deterrent against predators. That means it scared away dangerous animals that might want to eat humans. Cognitive stimulation. Cognitive relates to thinking in the brain. Sitting around fires created safer, more social environments where people could talk, tell stories, and bond with each other. This probably helped their brains develop even more. The earliest direct evidence of actual cooking comes from about 800,000 years ago in a place called Gesher Benet Yaakov in Israel. Scientists found ancient fish remains and analyzed them very carefully. They discovered that these fish had been exposed to controlled heat at temperatures below 500 degrees Celsius. That's 932 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cook but not burning everything to ash hot. This is highly indicative, strongly suggests, that humans were deliberately cooking, not just accidentally burning things in a wildfire. The scientists could see observable changes in the enamel crystal structure of the fish bones. Enamel is the hard outer coating on teeth and bones, and it changes in specific ways when heated. These changes look just like what happens when you cook something on purpose. This evidence is way older than what scientists used to think. It supports theories about why human brains started growing so fast. Cooking gave them the energy they needed. A scientist named Richard Wrangham came up with an important theory called the cooking hypothesis. His core argument, main idea, is that cooking wasn't just helpful, it was pivotal, absolutely central, and crucial in human physiological evolution. Physiological means relating to how the body works and develops. Wrangham wrote a book called Catching Fire: How Cooking Made Us Human, where he explains that cooking provided a significant energetic advantage. It gave humans way more energy than eating raw food ever could. Cooking altered or changed food's chemical properties in important ways. It released starches, a type of carbohydrate that gives you energy, and fats that were inaccessible or couldn't be used when the food was raw. This revolutionized the energy economy of early hominids. Hominids are early human ancestors. Basically, it completely changed how much energy they could get from food and totally transformed how they live. Over thousands of generations, cooking actually changed human bodies in big ways. Increased brain size. The extra energy from cooked food fueled brain expansion. Brains could grow bigger because there was enough energy to support them. Shorter digestive tract. Less energy was needed for digestion, so the gut, your intestines and stomach, got smaller. Humans have much shorter intestines than other primates because we don't need to work as hard to digest food. Reduction in jaw and teeth size. Softer cooked food required less chewing power. Our ancestors' massive jaws and big teeth shrank over time because they weren't necessary anymore. Reduced chewing time. This freed up significant time. Instead of spending all day chewing tough food like other primates do, humans could use that time for cognitive activities: thinking, planning, learning, and social activities. Talking, playing, and building communities. Here's something wild. Modern humans are anatomically adapted to cooked food. That means our bodies are actually built to eat cooked food, not raw food. We're so adapted to it that we can't really go back. People who try to eat only raw food diets often experience energy deficiency, not having enough energy, and sometimes even infertility, difficulty having babies, because raw food doesn't give modern humans enough calories to stay healthy. The social implications. How it affected human society were huge too. Gathering around fires for cooking fostered community. People sat together, shared food, and bonded. This probably helped with pair bonding, couples forming strong relationships too. Fire facilitated or made easier division of labor. Some people could gather firewood, others could cook, others could make tools. This created stable social groups where everyone had a role. The hearth, the area around a fire where people cook and gather, became central to human existence and culture. Even today, the kitchen is often called the heart of the home. That idea goes back hundreds of thousands of years. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today at Nog's house. We've learned how controlling fire and cooking were pivotal moments in human history. Fire made food safer and easier to digest, gave our ancestors the energy to grow bigger brains, changed their bodies, and created time and space for innovation, social bonding, and the development of culture. From ancient hearths around a campfire to modern kitchens in our homes, the mastery of fire is a huge part of what makes us human. But our story isn't over yet. Next time we're going to talk about another huge development, speech. How did humans learn to talk to each other? What changes in the body made speech possible? And how did language change everything about human society and culture? I hope you'll come back and join me for that. See you next time.